like me, are very confused as to why on a random Friday midnight I am dressed in a shirt and tie with a microphone in front of me, then I would be as confused as you are, but I'll bring you up to speed anyway. You see, my friend Lime, who I am in a Discord server with, basically she's given away a free month of Nitro, and there's quite a lot of us in the server that want that free month of Nitro because we don't like spending money. So we have to now campaign it out. The deadline is in 10 hours. And we have to present a speech to convince all the other server members as to why we deserve the Nitro. So here I am in my very inspired presidential setup. I did have a sign, it fell off, the height was all wrong, and I filmed this in portrait initially, and I think YouTube would have killed me for that. So here I am. Enjoy the cringe fest of me attempting my least offensive Barack Obama impression. Wait, I'm British, I should do Winston Churchill instead. My fellow members of the Hive, there's a car outside, are you kidding me? My fellow bumblebees, today the Hive faces a very important decision. Handing out Nitro can be a very responsible and difficult task. Put it in the wrong hand, it can lead to some very dire consequences, like emoji spamming. I don't think that's a perk of Nitro, but I mean, the horror. So I urge you to make the responsible choice, of who may not necessarily be me, but I did get an 8 in English language and English literature, so I'm going to put that to good use. The first point as to why you should vote for me is because you will be luring me away from touching grass. We all know that I spend far too much time in nature, necessarily. Instead of engaging in chronically online discourse, I'm visiting waterfalls. Instead of memorising people's speech patterns and when exactly they come on time in accordance to their different time zones, I am collecting pigeon feathers and contracting very bad diseases. Surely we can all agree that my receiving of the Nitro from Lime will eliminate the need for me to ever go outside ever again. I won't even need to go near grass. So much said that the eliminating of the grass problem will make me into the chronically online hermit I was always bound to be. Secondly, you should vote for me because have you seen how long my rants are? Initially, I sent this speech in the Discord channel and it was so long that I had to send it in 2 messages. And this extended speech that I am delivering to you now via YouTube is on YouTube purely because it is too long to be fitted into a non-Nitro message. So I urge you to think. Imagine how much you can learn if I wasn't affected by these limitations. You can learn about trains. You can learn about aviation accidents. You can learn about the 50 million types of hats and why none of them ever seem to name the same name and why men's hats are so boring. You can learn all these things if I wasn't so limited in what I'm able to put in one text message. In addition to long rants, I also write fan fictions. Don't look at my AO3 account now, look at it later and only look at the completed works, of which that is singular because there is one. However, imagine the possibility that I may actually be able to complete more than one fanfiction. With longer Discord text messages, I might be able to traverse in the battlefield which is Discord fanfiction. This is not terror in my eyes, this is intrigue and sincerity. Having Nitro will encourage me to write more ideas and now be able to write them more quickly, which will mean less 3-hour explaining sessions and more pen to paper making stories. And maybe together, my fellow bees, we can all think of those poor, orphaned fanfictions together. Won't somebody think of the orphans? We can think of the orphans together, if you vote for me. Thirdly, have you seen my recent attempts on trying to make complicated emoticons, which eventually get ruined because I always seem to forget that the dashes and the brackets and the slashes always seem to mess up the order and turn things Icelandic when I just wanted to make an R. Well, the reason to this isn't actually because of my forgetfulness or my inability to make text-based emoticons more than the simple colon and 3. It is because of the fundamental limitations of not having access to stickers and emojis, which are basically the same thing. So much pain could be avoided if I just had access to stickers and emojis. I say it was my pain you're avoiding, But really, it's all of yours because you have to watch me suffer, and second-hand embarrassment is twice as worse as first-hand embarrassment. My fourth point is, I can boost the server. Think of the economy. I didn't put as much flowery language into this sport, but like, come on, the writing's on the wall. Boosting the server will lead to a better economy. I don't know how to boost the server. Someone will have to show me how to boost the server, but I can boost the server. My teleprompter just died. Oh dear. Well, it's a good thing this part was supposed to be off script anyway. So the other reason you should vote for me is because this is the section where I diss all of my opponents. Now, my teleprompter has just died, so I don't actually know who my opponents are. But I just wanted to point out the fact that ever since this contest was first started, there's been some very interested and not quite related claims as to what would happen if other people get voted in. Now, I don't really want to throw anybody specific under the bus, but when someone's argument is, if you vote for me, I will be able to have access to resources I already have, and I will not bully and rage bait someone as much as I usually do, then usually you're not dealing with a very honest candidate. Now, I do not want to start any discourse as to where all of the candidates for this Nitro acquisition lay on the political canvas, and I don't want to throw anybody under the bus for this, Hyper, but just know that if I am voted to receive the Nitro, you will receive no punishment for who you vote for, even if it is not for me. Why have you turned around? I told you to keep those needles hidden. So with all that said, my fellow beeves of this very lime-coloured hive, I implore you to please vote for me in order to receive the Nitro. And you won't receive any of the things that other candidates are promised, like free meat. Do we know where that meat is sourced, by the way? Can someone get me a source on where Hyper gets his meat from, please? I don't think it's sanitary. But above all, what you stand to gain from voting me as the President of the United Bees of America... Sorry, the Nitro. Yeah, you are voting me for Nitro. I am not trying to usurp Lime here. Trust. But what you would receive from voting me isn't huge grand promises that I cannot keep. It isn't large quantities of meat that we don't know where it came from. Instead, the reward you will receive is knowing that you helped taint an innocent soul into becoming chronically online. I'll see you on Twitter, comments. Vote for me. Well, I mean, we all knew it wasn't a microphone. It's fine. He'll be fine. I don't condone animal abuse.